remember in the great state of Arizona. Folks, this is Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. And yes, the Houston Astros go head-to-head with the Diamondbacks. That will be center stage a little bit later. But for now, the stage certainly belongs to one man. That man right now that is hiding backstage, if you will. The curtain will draw open in just a few moments tonight. Luis Gonzalez is honored by these great fans here in the state of Arizona. Hello there, folks. It's an honor to be a part of it. You know him, his old teammate. He's Matt Williams. My name is Darren Sutton. Welcome back to the ballpark. Look, we're talking about a lot of energy for a club that has struggled this year, and you capture it, and you really embrace it. A big win last night. These youngsters are starting to play together, and then tonight you bring back one of your oldsters, a hero in Luis Gonzalez, and you thank him for his career.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night. You should thank Louis. You know, he was the face of this organization for all the time that he played physically.
Baseball brought to you by APS, the official power partner of the Diamondbacks, and by Southwest Airlines. They're ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on. Oh, get it done up there at Cave Creek. Don't forget, it's Gonzo night tonight, but also it's Western night. You bet. You bet your boots, as they like to say. D. Baxter, he's all about remembering. You see Montgomery Gentry's in concert after this. And if you have a chance, why don't you just stop on by if you're nearby and check it out. Cecil Cooper. This team from Texas, appropriately enough. You know, they think about all these things. The schedule makers, Katie Feeney, when she put this together, this was really what she was thinking about. Michael Bourne, Jeff Keffinger, Lance Berkman, Carlos Lee, Miguel Tejada, Hunter Pence, Kaz Matsui, a great story, and Chris Coast, forever and a day in the minor leagues, and Bud Norris. John Garland is 29 years old, the right-hander 7-11 with an ERA of about 4.5. His last outing, the Astros got to him. He went 6 innings, gave up 10 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned, but John Garland was the winner. And if you're a winner, that's a quality start. And so tell us a little bit about Garland from what you've seen of late.
No, the thing that he gets in trouble with, if he does get in trouble during the course of the game, is he elevates the baseball. He doesn't have Brandon Webb's sinker, but the ball sinks pretty good. If he can keep the ball down, you'll see a lot of ground balls. He'll throw a ton of double plays if it's going right for him.
Don't be confused, by the way. One team wearing a black jersey, the other one a red jersey. One team wearing gray road pants, the other one white home pants. You'll be just fine. Certainly glad to have you with us tonight. We are underway from Chase Field, and that is strike one. 0-1 the count to the speedster Michael Bourne.
You could say that again. He can flat pick him up and put him down.
Oh my goodness. John Garland is there. What an easy flip on over in time for the out.
Well, there you have it. He's going to throw a lot of ground balls. Most of the time they're not back at him and not back at him that hard, but nice job of fielding your position.
Para, Chris Young, and Justin Upton. We'll hear a little bit more about Chris. He is back. It's Reynolds, Drew, Robertson, Allen. John Garland pitches to Miguel Montero. Right back to work. Strike one to Jeff Keppinger. Well, earned his way back when you take a look at the numbers. Had 20 hits in 13 games, hitting .370. On base percentage of .460 down in AAA, so good for him.
Yeah, a little time to clear the mind.
And leave your burdens behind, too.
Yeah,
He was saying before the game, I left my burdens with the big club. They could travel around with those. I went down just burden free and just played baseball.
That's what it's all about, right?
I think so for Chris. I mean,
listen, it wasn't about going down there for 4 months and working the swing out. It's there. It's a question of him having some confidence and feeling good about himself when he gets back.
And his good buddy was glad to have him back. Justin Upton, as he puts that one away. Right away, the opposite sides of the Velcro went side by side again when Upton and Young walked together to get loose. But Chris was saying that I didn't make a dramatic change. I didn't move my hands again. I didn't spread out in the box. I didn't try to go to right. I didn't try to go to left. I played baseball.
Yeah. That's why he got here, right? That's why he made it to the big leagues, because his natural talent is pretty darn good. Sometimes we get in our own way.
And I think it happens at this level more than any other level.
Sure. Yeah, that third deck, that pressure, those questions every night after the game.
The 1-0 to Lance Berkman on the ground. Ryan Roberts, Johnny on the spot. And Johnny on the spot, also John Garland. Bud Norris clocking in. Roberts bats second. Justin Upton, Mark Reynolds. Always more dangerous together. Miguel Montero, Chris Young, Gerardo Parra, Brandon Allen. That's a challenge right there for a youngster in the big leagues batting 8th, and John Garland bats 9th.
Difficult for anybody in the big leagues to bat 8th in the National League anyway.
David S. Norris, Bud as they like to call him, 3-2 with a 5.86. But as they drop a nice country Texas drawl on his name, he's from California, Northern California, where he pitched at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Same school that produced, I don't know, Mike Krukow maybe.
Yeah.
To throw out there. And he goes to work now. Bud knows the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks know him, because his last time out the Diamondbacks took him apart. And I would imagine if he has the intestinal fortitude and the wherewithal that I have heard that he has, he's remembered every second of it leading up until this outing. And I know you came up with a great Arrowhead, Brown and Brown, and Power Chevy dealers key to the game, Matty. What is it?
Well, you know, with all the festivities going on here, the key to the game is, it's good to see you again, Bud.
Oh, that's great. So Gonzo, he's going by Bud now.
Well, all of his teammates, you know, hey, you walk through the clubhouse, you know, and say, hey, Bud, how are you? But
that's what you say to everyone.
But that's not it, Barry.
That's not it?
No. That's not it.
Good to see you again, Bud, but you put in a hard day. Oh, I know what it is. A night like this, I'm sure the commissioner's down below somewhere. Where is he? Can we get a shot of him?
Well, I saw him walking around earlier. He hadn't been here in a while. You know, the last time he was here, he announced that we were going to have the All-Star game in 2011.
We'll have him on. Folks, stay tuned. The commissioner of baseball is joining us.
But that's not it either.
That's not it?
Nope. Sorry.
Well, I officially I give up. I have no idea what it is.
Well, yeah, all you have to do is look out to the pitcher's mound. That's all you have to do.
Oh, good to see you again, Bud Norris. Not Bud Selig or not Bud Gonzalez.
No, not Bud Gonzalez. No.
Either one of those. I got
neither one of them. But it is nice to see him again for these Diamondbacks. Last time out, they put a whooping on him.
Jeff Geppinger, your old spot. That's a nice play. Tough over the shoulder like that.
It's difficult. It barely makes it into the end of the glove, but as long as it stays there, everything's okay.
No, that's a terrible key to the game.
It's a wonderful key to the game. Are you kidding me?
Luis Gonzalez here in town. Well, lives in town, but I mean at the ballpark, brought back in, everyone wearing Gonzo shirts. Big press conferences.
That's a big league key.
Announcer coming in early to stand in front of the press conference and tell everyone, glad to have you with us.
That was big league, by the way.
Players for the Diamondbacks shaking hands. Rumors the commissioner's in town.
I saw him. I think I saw him.
And you go with a visiting pitcher from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
That's because we absolutely put a whooping on him last time.
All right.
I'm all about the offense. You know that.
Well, that makes sense.
After last night, back-to-back double-digit games. Rolling. I like it.
That man, his first big league home run. Come to find out, by the way, is that one off the bat of Ryan Roberts as Hunter Pence scampered. Come to find out, Dad, John, didn't make it out, talking about Hester. And Mom was here in attendance.
Oh, really?
She made it out in time.
That's outstanding. I have to make a huge apology to that young man.
Really?
Yeah, during the pregame show today, we were talking about him and giving him all kinds of accolades for last night. And out of my mouth came, well, what a wonderful night for Mr. John Lester.
Oh, so we acquired the pitcher from the Red Sox.
No. It was just a mistake on my part, so Johnny, I apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, that's John Hester.
Got it.
Remember that name.
Well, according to you, his name's Bud.
He could be Bud. That's Bud. Bud's in the box right now. Bud's on deck. Bud Selig may be around somewhere. We don't know.
The 0-1 to Justin Upton. There you go.
Yes, John Hester.
That's called the director taunting you now. Wow. According to the schedule, this may be your last telecast of the year. I think you're going to be back again.
You think?
But on your unofficial last telecast of the year, you're being taunted by the director.
Well, I can only hope to be back again so I can atone for my horrible pregame show.
You hear that humility, folks, as that slider is down and away to Justin Upton. You youngsters out there can learn from that humility. An Emmy Award winner acting like that.
Oh, it's all about the partner, folks. It's all about the partner.
Bouncing ball, better not play it back, and you had better hurry. Nope. It's an infield hit.
Well, you could see that one coming, couldn't you?
You bet you could.
High chopper and the shortstop backing up onto the grass. You're just not going to get it.
Baseman number 27, Mark Reynolds.
3 or 4 steps back on the grass. Tejada's got a good arm, but not good enough to cut down Justin Upton. What do you do as a defensive player? You have 2 choices there. You can come try to get it and make it a do or die play, or try to rely on the arm. And with speed like that, I don't know if anybody could have run that.
On Western night here at the ballpark, country music stars Montgomery Gentry playing after the game. Who better to represent this squad than the sheriff? As that one is fouled off. I would imagine out there on the scoreboard it's got something about the sheriff. I would think there's probably, see what the sheriff, hang on, the sheriff, nope, according to the scoreboard he's an outlaw. Nope.
There's a reward for it too.
His nickname's the sheriff, and now there's a robbery at first. Justin Upton sent back to the dugout. You know that'll frustrate him. Bud Norris showing the quick feet and a pick off there.
Welcome back, Bud.
You just made him mad. To do that picking on their way up while taking signs. All right, what do I want to throw? Well, how about it going first? APS rooftop solar cam taking a peek up high up above Justin Upton, reminding all of you to visit APS.com. When you do, pick the bill and the plan that works best for you. Great website. That's a great weapon to have.
What's the plan that works best for him right there? It's great. You know, they miss nothing these days. Now, it's up to the players to take a look at it. But there's a scouting report right here, and it gives times to the plate and what he, how quick he is and what his times to deliver the ball to home plate are. Runner on first or out of the slide step or runner on second. And it gives a pickoff move. It says he can be quick over there. And in big bold print it says will pick on the way up while taking signs.
Wow.
Well, there you have it.
You can't hide, can you, in the big leagues?
You can hide. They have a stat for everything. The advanced scouts, nobody knows their name, but they are the most important people. They give that scouting report. They spend weeks following a team to give that report.
Popped up. Over and under it to make the play is Mark Reynolds. Congratulations, D-back season ticket holder Greg Cleveland. We've won a one-on-one hitting session with Mark Reynolds. Goodness sakes, for renewing season tickets for 2010. If you're a season ticket holder, renew today, and you could be a winner during the 30 prizes in 30 days. For a great list of prizes and winners, visit dbacks.com/STH. Greg Cleveland gets a hitting session with Mark Reynolds. I'm sorry, but that's officially big league.
That is big.
Are you kidding me?
Name's Greg?
Greg.
Congratulations, Greg. I don't think you're going to hit it 475 feet, but.
No, that's okay.
But. Because nobody but that guy really does.
It's nice when your bosses make it easy to kiss up to them, simply put, because that's a great idea. I mean, that's just a great idea. Well, good for them. And you know what? Good for you fans and your loyalty. I mean, really, you deserve initiatives like this. So there we go. I'm not kissing up anymore. They should do it.
No, it's great. It's not easy out there these days.
That's right.
And to fork over the dough to renew, give them something a little special. That's special. Doesn't happen every day. It's good. And that's special right there, too. That mustache, boy.
Base hit. And a fastball in. Miguel Tejada thinking, too, this could be interesting. Not in time. Roberts diving back. And a double for Miguel Tejada.
Well, Gerardo Parra is not moving as well as he normally does. So it took him a little bit of time to get over there. It's not hit extremely hard, but he makes the slide and comes up and fires a bullet to second base. If the throw's on line, he's out by 10 feet, just a little bit off the mark, and he was able to get in there.
Boy. Hunter Pence, fly ball right field. Justin Upton is there to make the play. It looked like for just a minute. Justin was bird dogging us there. It looked like for just a minute he didn't quite see that ball right, but he did the entire time.
Second baseman number 3, Kazuo Matsui.
Justin making the play, and Justin picking off the fly ball. Going back to that pickoff for Bud Norris. There's not even a sign yet. And they threw over. Nothing. Never gave him a sign.
That pitcher, he can feel when you're getting a little bit too much. Sometimes they'll read the way a player will take his lead. What does he do? Does he cross over at any point? Take his left foot over his right foot? As if you can catch him when they're doing that, there's no way they're getting back. Does he peek in for signs to try to see what the catcher's giving? At that point, he's not looking at the pitcher, he's looking at the catcher. That's a good time to try to pick him off. Or if you're Doug Davis, it really doesn't matter. You just pick him off.
The 1-1. Right back over the outside corner with a sinking fastball. Lance Berkman as well. I would imagine his role in the entire play is just to anticipate. Now, if he were off the bag sneaking in, that'd be different.
Just be ready. In case he does throw over there, just be ready to catch it and put that tag down.
1-2, the count to Kaz Matsui. He hit a homer in his first big league at bat, like John Hester. This is twice tonight now. And either John Garland on this occasion thinks that Miguel Tejada's taking a peek in there and figuring it out, or Montero and Garland aren't on the same page yet. We don't know.
Could be one or the other.
And understand this, Miguel Montero, folks, is not a part-timer anymore. He catches everyone all the time. Nice job blocking up a slow curveball.
You know, it could be. It could be comfort level too. You don't know. Could be Garland's comfort level with Matsui. He's got 2 strikes on him, but you know, got a feeling about something. Who knows? Could be anything.
A rare curveball a moment ago, followed up by a changeup into center field. Oh, and it is Chris Young. Young puts it away. The Diamondbacks in this scoreless ball game. We'll see Young when we come back. The power, the poise, or the personality. 36929. What do you vote for? I vote for D, that he was a really good ball player.
Me too.
But I like them all. I like them all. He'll be visiting us in the booth in the 5th inning. And you know how we operate up here in the broadcast booth. We've had the really respectful interview, you know, during the press conference. There was emotion, and it was, you know, it was time. It was time to have that. Then covered the on-field presentation, a rousing standing ovation. He is officially, he's officially ours when he comes in here.
He's officially off the clock now.
Absolutely. I expect you
deep.
just
hammer him.
Just get him.
Oh, okay.
Be the old teammate, please.
All right. We can do that.
Because when you come back, for lack of better words, quote unquote, you come back, what do you miss? You miss the people. You miss the locker room. You miss the camaraderie. Well, that's certainly part of it. Getting an earful from your teammates.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Reynolds goes down on strikes with the slider. Miguel Montero, part of an offensive party last night. A home run, and one of my favorites because he lets it travel and takes it out the other way.
You gotta let it travel, don't you? He does a really good job of doing that. And that, you know what? That's his strength. His strength is hitting the ball middle of the diamond to left field. Now he's going to pull some home runs, yes. But generally it's an account where he's ahead, and he can go ahead and look to turn on one. But he's not a pull hitter by any stretch of the imagination.
Pitch rides in. 2-0 the count to Miguel Montero.
Here's a situation where if he does get his pitch, he can go ahead and turn on it. A little hanging slider.
Yeah, that wasn't
want that
his
one.
pitch.
Not in that count.
Pitch dives low, off-speed pitch there.
Here we go again. Now he's looking for a ball that he can get up in the strike zone and elevate. Get an extra base hit.
3-2 the count. I think he has a brief conversation with Jerry Meals. Reminds him that for the entire evening he'll be squatting right in front of him. So say what you have to say, but make it quick. Fouls that one off. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out.
So what do we want to talk to Gonzo about tonight?
I'd like to know what clearly clicked in his mind that he wasn't looking for phone calls anymore. Because he was looking for them. He was hoping to get called to help a team at some point. Let's take a look at the defense as that man looks out at the defense for the Houston Astros. Mind you, Gonzo was a Houston Astro. Lee, Borden, Pence, Keppinger, Tejada, Matsui, and Berkman. The battery of Norris and Chris Coase. All right, Chris Young. We told you what he did down in AAA Reno. Hit 370 in 13 games. Slugged nearly 700, and that fastball backs him out of there. 3 homers and 9 RBIs in those 13 games. He sent back rave reviews about the ballpark in Reno. So well done, folks.
Great place. Brand spanking new. Good fans.
All right, welcome back. Hit by a slider.
Thanks, Eli.
So you have Montero reaching, and then Chris Young hit by a slider, 86 miles an hour, up and in. On country night, Gerardo Parra introduced one of his favorite bands playing in the background, the Dixie Chicks.
Big country fan. He can't wait. Stick around after the game for the concert.
Montgomery Gentry's coming. Now, if you're in the neighborhood, you're not far away, just come on down. I mean, why not? Seats available, plenty of them. That one is low. 1-0 the count to Parra. Parra 5 homers, 50 runs batted in. Got a 3-game hitting streak, and it's one of those beginnings of a nice streak. In his last 3 games, he has 6 hits and 5 RBIs. First career home runs. Well, we've seen a lot of them this year. Of course, the first at bat for Parra. The first at bat for Hester. So the guys bursting on the scene. It's been fun to watch, including Dan Heron in Cincinnati, I believe.
Well, you knew it was only a matter of time for Dan. You have officially arrived as a quality hitting pitcher when you're asked to pinch hit. And not asked to pinch hit to lay down a bunt.
Right.
But really hit.
I mean, hit like a man.
I mean, just grip it and rip it.
That one
back leg it.
On the outside corner.
Huh?
1-1 the count.
When you're asked by your manager, and you are a starting pitcher or reliever, doesn't matter, to get in there and try to back leg one out of the ballpark, you have arrived. You are now big league.
The 1-1. Fouled that one off. Oh, we got a contract.
Oh, we got to get him a contract.
I'm hoping we have some video recognition of that.
And he's excited about it.
All right, there it is.
Notice the form, folks. Catch the ball out in front of you so you can see it all the time.
It's fired up.
And then just tell everybody that you're really good as well.
He gets 4 free tickets, really good ones. There's that one off the plate. This could be interesting. Morris waits for it. Boy, played it very nicely. A little sidearm fire over there.
With a short stop.
Baseman number 25.
Well, you know he's been an infielder a time or two in his playing days. Well, here you go. We talked about it being a difficult, very difficult spot in the order to hit. Here's the prime example right here.
That went to the backstop, intending to long pitch, and there is a run. Trying to just put him on an intentional walk, and it just spoke because he did throw a wild pitch, and it's 1-0.
Well, you take him any way you can get him. Just a bit outside.
He's not a sidearm pitcher. He threw that sidearm.
The last ball he threw was sidearm. I mean, it was over first.
Fair enough. And that was by necessity.
Yeah.
What a huge, huge break for the Diamondbacks. Oh, Coop. Cecil doesn't like that one bit. Sails it out there again. Frustrating, no doubt about it. Join Fox Sports Arizona, the Diamondbacks, and the Muscular Dystrophy Association in the fight against ALS. During the D-backs and Rockies game next Friday, you can bid on great sports packages or come to the Tempe Marketplace from 5:30 to 8 for a silent auction. All proceeds benefit Augie's Quest and ALS research.
John Garland was trying to backleg that one. Hank got himself a hanging slider, and the eyes got big. So did the swing.
All right, here it is. Big base hit and an RBI. He's insulted.
Making a call?
He's taking it personal. He's got 9 hits, folks. I mean, 9 hits in his career. One and two, the count. Didn't really look to uncoil there, did he?
It's not a bad thought.
Drop a bunt down.
Not a bad thought. Kevinger's playing on the outfield grass. But if you're going to do it, you got to do it.
Broke his bat, rolls that one to the right side. The play is made. Look, they were just trying to put a runner on and then pitch to the pitcher. Well, the pitcher couldn't do it properly.
Just
1-0.
A bit outside.
Superstition Springs and by Triple Hops brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Glad to have you back on this Saturday evening here at Chase Field. Matt Williams, Darren Sutton, and you. And we trust to this point your weekend has been a good one, and we hope somewhere a cool one.
Boy, it's hot, isn't it?
It's,
you got to be kidding me.
And love doing it. We've been gone so much. Was out of my daughter's soccer practice this morning, and I think at 8:30 it was 152 degrees. 0-2 the count.
We had a little tease, the last week or so, starting to get down. A couple of days over the last couple of weeks under 100, but no. Oh no.
Pitch is low. 1-2 the count. Good life on that sinker, by the way, diving down.
It's a good sinker. It's everybody on this club that throws a sinker is compared to Brandon Webb, but it's good. I mean, it's a hard downer at the plate. Throws a lot of ground balls.
1-2 the count to Coast. More than a decade in the minor leagues, and a lot of it independent league baseball. Moorhead, Minnesota. Grew up in Fargo, talking about Coast. And turned out to be one of the great stories. As a matter of fact, authored a book of his journey through the minor leagues. Fouled that one off at the plate.
Spend that kind of time, you gotta love to play the game, don't you? You just gotta love the game. As guys play in the big leagues, they make some money. Minor leaguers don't make it.
No, especially independent league minor leaguers. You're lucky if your bus runs between one stop and another. Look out. Hopefully everyone's all right over there.
Somebody.
Wow.
If he jumped in front of it, he needs a contract. That's risking life and limb.
Yeah, taking out Mickey over there.
Mickey, no contract for Mickey. He was running.
But I will tell you this, Mickey did a great job, and as did all of our crew. Crowding into that press conference room. It was standing room only today, and brought great pictures into your home. We appreciate everyone. Good sinking fastball, and Coast heads back to the dugout. I'm told you can see the press conference as was shown on television earlier today at 4 o'clock. You can see it at 12:30 tomorrow. Very interesting. I mean, to me, the entire thing, and I'm of course talking about Luis Gonzalez. And I was, in this job when you cover this team and you speak with your bosses and you speak with managers and general managers regularly. It's not that you take it for granted, but one subject that I had not gone down with any of our bosses is, did you ever think about putting him in a uniform and letting him come out and play an inning?
Yeah.
JT Snow did something similar to that with the Giants. And that subject came up, and that moved me to the edge of my seat. Now, I could tell you, stay tuned tomorrow, but I'm not going to do that, because stay tuned tomorrow. It'll be better explained and watch it. But simply put, it just wasn't what Luis Gonzalez wanted to do.
No.
I'm done playing.
Well, no. What he wanted to do was play.
Really play.
Really play.
Right.
So, the token, that's not.
Do you can you understand that?
Of course. Yeah.
And it's not a knock on JT Snow.
No, it's not at all. Not at all.
That's strike 3.
Luis Gonzalez has the chance to officially retire as a Diamondback. That's taken care of. So the innings going out there in the uniform and playing really doesn't mean anything. If they offered him a contract in April or whenever it was,
that's different.
That'd be a different deal.
The other part I found most interesting, and I won't go down this road with him when he's with us, folks, because he's been down it several times, was now, as Bourne drops down a bunt, now that last game at Shea Stadium, which turned out to be the last game at Shea Stadium, when he was a Marlin and he sat in his locker, a tiny, tiny visiting clubhouse, and for a moment recollected things because he thought it might be Well, it is now the last game of his career, and now those memories are huge. That last moment in that locker.
Right. Yeah, oftentimes in the middle of it, you don't realize it. As you move on and you're able to look back, it becomes larger and larger every time you do think about it, or every time you do look back on it.
Try as I may, including being a pregame show host, I've tried to find guys for 12 years now that stop and smell the roses. They're usually smelling them on their way out of the game, whether it's retiring or they're smelling the roses too much and they're getting boat raced. you guys like you, Luis, Gracie, you guys don't stop and smell the roses.
You don't have time.
Garland won't get to that.
I'll tell you this much though. You look at the two of the guys that you mentioned, Gracie and Gonzo. They stopped and smelled a little bit more than most folks. They had a lot of fun playing the game. They enjoyed the competition. They enjoyed the fact that it was them against the pitcher, or them against 9 other guys out there on any given day. But they also enjoyed, as Gonzo mentioned, Gracie was wonderful at it too during the time that he played. They enjoyed the clubhouse guys. They enjoyed the people that they saw on the way in and the way out of the ballpark every day. It's nice to see. And you hear people talk about it all the time. I mentioned Gonzo to them, and they go, you know, the one thing I remember about Luis is he knew my name. And that's huge.
Isn't that a lesson we all can learn, though?
Of course.
No matter what we do.
Of course, he always called me by my first name.
2 outs. No count on Jeff Keppinger. 1-0 the score. The Diamondbacks lead it. Luis will stop by in the 5th inning. And any of this positive, sugary stuff you're hearing now that we mean,
it's all over with.
It won't be brought up with when he's in at all. Matt is going to bury it. Might even get Gracie on the phone.
It's going to be fun. Oh, I'm sure he'll text.
Oh, that's true. He will, whether he knows he's going to or not.
Oh, he texts now. I don't. All the times that Gracie said, "Oh, we have a text from Matt Williams coming in," it's a bunch of malarkey.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not so sure about any of it.
Gracie, on the other hand, he texts.
Runner. Thought about it. Now pickoff throw. He's back in there. Miguel Montero in a preview for the Astros series. Said clearly, I know all about Michael Bourne, and I hope he goes. I look forward to trying to throw him out.
Challenge, huh?
And in his own way, Gracie summed it up after the soundbite that we like to call it, as we went to break in Houston, and he said, "Be careful what you wish for." Boy, pretty good pitch, and Jerry Meals thought it was away.
It's funny, the little gestures. I don't know where that missed. You see AJ with his gesture leaning on the rail there, just his hand just kind of flickering out in front of him, signaling to Miguel Montero. Is that ball out? Ball's off the plate.
Garland, this is quite a matchup because John does a great job with opposing base runners.
He does.
Now this year it's different. I mean, 8 have been successful in 10, so that's only 20%. In his career, 47% are thrown out. 47. That one is low. Now, it's not because he has a great pickoff move. He's got a good pickoff move. He's picked 3 off this year. Isn't it about completely varying the way you go to the plate?
Sure. There's also something to be said about John. You know, he's a big guy. He's a tall guy. He's 6'5". So you would think that he would take more time to get to the plate. He's very quick to the plate.
Runner goes, swung right through, throw down. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He would have had it stolen. That was strike 3. So Jeff Kippinger goes down on strikes, and he just got the side. History, some may argue. Our Chaz Roberts cool play. If he didn't have a ton of friends before that, and he did, that made him a bunch more. Here in the Valley of the Sun in the great state of Arizona. 1-0 the count. That'll win you some friends. I tell you, I remember watching in Southern California where I lived at the time, covering the Angels, broadcaster for the Angels, and I was all in.
Oh, we all were.
I was all in. Well, you should have been.
I'll tell you what. I can remember one of the most vivid moments for me was coming back for Game 6 after taking it on the chin in New York City. Coming out to run your sprints. You know, players come out before the game starts and they go run their sprints in the outfield to get loose, make sure they're prepared for the game. And everybody in this stadium, 48,000 plus, was standing on their feet with shaking those towels and pom-poms, and it was 20 minutes prior to game time. They were going.
So thousands and thousands of friends, and he certainly won more along the way, did Luis Gonzalez, as that is fouled off with a friend that many of you might have heard of Gonzo, standing by with Mark McClune. Big Mac, where you at?
Oh, we're up in Luis Gonzalez's suite. He's actually left to come down and see you guys. We're standing by with a guy who has known Luis Gonzalez since he started here. Lou Monaco has worked at the ballpark since day one. What has Luis Gonzalez meant to you?
I can't say enough about that man. And today, for 3 years, I've been waiting for this day to see Louis get recognized as a Diamondback. And it's one of the happiest days of my life. And to me, Louis has been a long-time friend, and I wish him all the luck in the world with his new capacity with the Diamondbacks.
Well, you've worked at the ballpark parking cars for a number of years. Tell us a story about how you met Luis Gonzalez. You were in the hospital, right?
Yeah, what happened is, like, I'm from New York City, and back there we don't drink much water. Little did I know that you have to drink water in Arizona. So this one day, I didn't drink water or eat much of a supper that evening, and I somehow passed out with a dehydration, and they took me to the hospital. And the following day, a Saturday, who comes in my bedroom was Luis Gonzalez and his wife, Christine. And they wished me a speedy recovery. And that was one of the first times I actually met him face to face. And since that day, we've been longtime friends. And a little short story that such a nice guy he is. After he visited me, when he went when he went out of my room, the nurse came back and told me that he was in the nurse's quarter for 25 minutes signing autographs for every patient on the floor. And that's the type of a person he is. He doesn't know how to say no to anybody.
And now we've seen you all over the country. Actually, Luis Gonzalez has traveled him to a couple games. We saw him down in Florida, and he's really taken a liking to you, hasn't he?
Yeah, he had me visit him when he was with the Dodgers at Manhattan Beach. And then, like you just said, when he was with the Marlins, he had me visit down there for 3 days. And he just showed me the town, had a limo pick me up at the airport, bring me back. And again, like I say, I can't say enough for that man, you know. He said I remind him of his grandfather, but he's more than anything to me. I'll cherish him for the rest of my life.
One of the many Luis Gonzalez fans and friends here tonight, guys.
Thank you very much, and always good and generous is Lou to all that come through the way. I give Lou credit to being out front of helping my family be comfortable here in the state of Arizona when they came visiting their old man at work. I tell you, I can't thank him for that enough. 2-1 the count, so good for him.
Yeah, it's nice to see, see the other side of, the.
Takes a generous kick for the Diamondbacks. They will play to run. That will allow all the way to third. Easy now, big fella. Easy. Point across the diamond is Ryan Roberts with a triple. By the way, he found Low Bundy. They must have had a discussion. Either that or Low let him know he could go to third. But that goes over the wall. It's a different story. Not only did it hit the wall, it took an ugly kick.
I would imagine that point across the diamond to Low Bundy is imparting a little knowledge, maybe something to look for when he went up to the plate. Watch this reaction. Thank you.
That's great.
Isn't it great? We talked about it last night.
2-0 Arizona.
Don't look now, but this is starting to become a team. Guys are getting comfortable in the spots they're hitting in the lineup. Big boys are back in the middle of it. Here's one of them right here.
2-0 the count to Justin Upton.
Talk about Gonzo and his friends and fans, and him doing things behind the scenes that make people's day. He's not afraid to go out on the road and hit bullets like that.
Let it travel. The infield was in about halfway. A scorcher right over the head of Kaz Matsui for Upton. 68 RBIs. Arizona 3, Houston nothing.
So Gonzo's not afraid to go when the team's on the road and find dresses for the rookies to wear. Ooh. Strange shoes and steal their clothes when they get to the ballpark and make them wear something on the plane. You never know.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. He was the ringleader.
Now we're talking. Well, here's the thing, and you know how I feel. That's old school, right? For a rookie, that's old school. So he's now a rookie employee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's been pretty syrupy. That's all I'm saying. So you might need to help us out.
Turnabout is fair play.
He'll be in the 5th.
Come on, Gons. Come on in here and sit down, brother.
That one is chopped up over the dugout.
Let's talk for a minute.
I mean, I'm not trying to stir things up or anything.
Oh, no. Not at all.
3-0 the score. The Diamondbacks on top.
You wouldn't do that, would you?
Nope. Justin Upton, since coming back after missing that time. Remember, he hit a grand slam in single A rehabbing for Visalia. He's 7 for 14.
It just doesn't happen. That is second deck. Halfway up in the all-you-can-eat section. Wow.
Come on. Go get another dog and a homer.
Well, somebody's going to have to go get another dog because Mark Reynolds just put a baseball in there. It's a good thing it's the all-you-can-eat section because you splash somebody's nachos all over themselves.
They have nachos up there?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, boy.
Whatever it was coming in hot. Holy cow.
There it is. He's got himself a dog. He's hit himself in the noggin with that ball. He's fired up. Got the Gonzo shirt on. Look at that. That's what it's all about at the ballpark.
That's a half-eaten dog. So you figure he probably held on to the dog while he caught the ball. If that's the case, that man needs a contract.
Well, you're giving out some contracts.
Gracious, that's a long way.
0-2 the count, Chris Young. 40 home runs. Albert has 41. Ryan Howard's been charging hard. He has 37.
Yeah, we need to give out more contract.
We do it.
We do. There he is right there.
Negotiation in process.
There's the contract. There's the tickets. See if we can get that ball back from Mr. Reynolds, number 40.
Slider is high. I have no idea how to measure it. I mean, we talked about the homer he hit, the long distance homer he hit in San Francisco that measured 471. That was his last home run. He also hit the ball, don't forget, into the corner, and I mean the furthest corner towards center field of Friday's Front Row Sports Grill. That's the longest home run in the major leagues this year.
Well,
way out there.
You look at it from our vantage point, sitting behind home plate and up a little bit, kind of, on the same level that those balls went into. It's got to be right up there with the ball he hit just to the left side. If you're sitting in Friday's front row, up that stairwell, it's got to be just about the same. You know, the fence is a little shorter down the line, but still. Holy mackerel.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. And usually for Mark, his long home runs are not pulled.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
There to the big old fat part of the ballpark. He rarely goes down the line with authority. As a matter of fact, had a great series in D.C. Pulled a couple of wall scraper home runs for him.
Well, that's what he does. Generally, that ball's going to be top spinned a little bit, down the line, hooking it around the foul pole, on the line. And that's a very good thing that he doesn't pull the ball for home runs. He's staying on it, using the big part. He doesn't need to pull the ball to hit the ball out of the ballpark. The only park that holds him is Yosemite.
That pitch is high, and Norris angry with that one. By the way, Mark Reynolds and Luis Gonzalez in 2001, the only two Diamondbacks to hit 40 home runs in a season. Gonzo jumped up to 57. Two more ball games left. We'll see how far Mark Reynolds goes. 40 home runs on the season, though. Since their return, and they were both in the lineup together, Mark and Justin are 10 for 24 combined with 8 RBIs.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. The most telling thing, though, what is everybody else?
Well, that's the key. The runs are coming from everyone else.
Well, it's good. They'll get theirs. But how does Ryan Roberts feel hitting second? Likes it. How does Stephen Drew like hitting in the leadoff spot? Likes it. How does Miguel Montero like cleaning up after them? Likes it. It's comfort level.
One more run away, by the way, from free tacos tomorrow. 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day.
Isn't it great?
1 and 2 the count.
I'm walking down the hall today coming to work.
Sure.
Yeah, if you can consider this work. It's really not. But walking down the hall, I hear this voice. It says, "Hey, what'd you get?" The guy says, "I guess Taco Bell's got a new taco now. It's really hot."
Sliding in a nice play.
So they got Taco Bell tacos. Instantaneous. I think about last night. 12 spot on the verge again tonight.
Kind of like an all-you-can-eat. Name the 5 National League players to hit more than 48 home runs in 2001. The 5 players to get up and over 48 in 2001. Of course, in the National League, well, that's where most of the power was anyway that year. That's a very good question. We'll give you some time to think about it and give some of our colleagues a chance to check in as well.
You know they will. My phone will be blowing up here in a minute.
A mile high, and Chris Young restores order out there in center field. If you're traveling and can't watch the D-backs on Fox Sports Arizona, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. 100 out-of-market games a week live on your computer, and catch the games that you've missed on demand. For more details, visit dbacks.com, where baseball is always on. Now, that doesn't apply to any of us, because the Diamondbacks, well, they haven't been doing any traveling lately. So for those of you that actually do travel.
Well, it's kind of a long homestand, huh? You guys are... oh, no, it's not.
I've never, ever in my life started a load of laundry, been to the dry cleaners, and had a haircut before I had my second cup of coffee. That was Friday. Bouncing ball. That's a slider. Stephen Greer fields and in time for the out.
Gracie better get his text in. Telling you.
Well, 2001.
Come on, Gracie.
And one of the obvious guesses is one of his favorite players. You know what I'm talking about.
Long-time teammate. Long-time teammate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to guess, or do you want me to guess?
Well, it's not. He hasn't texted, so it's not really his guess.
No. Uh-oh. It's blowing up. You knew it was only a matter of time, folks.
All right.
Here it is. Mark Grace. His guess? Mark Grace.
Mark Grace in 2001.
Nice try, Grayson.
Sent that one in. He's enjoying dinner in Hamtramck tonight at the Polish Village. Sent that one on his Me phone. Five to nothing the score.
Look at the heat coming off that window.
Can you believe that?
Wow. It's like 120 degrees outside, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That one has popped up. The third inning, the big inning. When you talk about the Diamondbacks last night, all the hits they were coming, rolling out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3-run homer as well for Alex Romero tonight. Robertson, Upton, Mark Reynolds. And a homer would be nice this inning. It's the Gila River Casinos Hit It and Win inning. Hit that sign right there. And a fan watching on Fox Sports Arizona wins $640,000. Robert Ditzler of Phoenix. Robert, you are our contestant tonight. The jackpot grows by $10,000 every time the prize goes unclaimed. For rules and info, visit dbacks.com/hit and win, or visit winhila.com, winhilariver.com.
All right, we need Stephen Drew to get one of those low screamers he hits out of the ballpark, just to the left of the pool, off that sign out there. $640,000.
How about that?
It's a boatload. Right there, Stephen. There it is. Take aim, pal. Stephen's a big hunter.
Loves to hunt.
Loves to get his bow out. That's a target out there. Go get it, kid.
He took a shot at it, but that's not going to get it done. We had a guess on D-Backs booth on Twitter. Susan guessed Todd Helton. Todd Helton as we answer it. Andrew from section 143 guessed Gonzo. And Richie guessed Barry Bonds. Sean Green from the back of the pack, the big stunner there.
I would have never thunk it.
Wow.
Is that the year he hit 4 in a game? In Milwaukee?
That was
don't know. Could be.
That was lining the center field. That was actually 2002. In 2002. I mean to gub you there, but it was in 2002.
It's okay, Governor. It's all right, Governor.
Wearing Sedona red, the Diamondbacks wearing their black jerseys tonight. Offensively getting it done, and the man who set the bar offensively, Luis Gonzalez, a big night for you, my friend. I would imagine you never knew how you'd feel, you never knew what this would be like, but where are you at right now after treading through all of these emotions and this experience?
I think emotionally tired.
Sure.
You know, in the press conference, when you look into your kid's eyes, and it just tore me up. I was like, I'm not going to look, I'm not going to look. And then all of a sudden you look over and your kids are, you know, they were crying. And then I was like, oh, God, I broke down. I didn't want to do it. But you know what? It's, you know, my kids for so long, this is a great day for our family, because for so long, my wife and I experienced this. You know, we were old enough, but our kids grew up, you know, little, you know, babies actually watching the Diamondbacks. In the last 2 years we weren't here, and then for them to actually come out onto the field and see the response from the fans and things like that, it was awesome.
It's got to feel good for you, though. You know, it's been well documented that leaving wasn't pleasant necessarily, but it's got to feel good for you to be able to come back to the organization and make a difference. You're going to make a difference in a lot of different levels.
Well, you know what? That's important for me because I love being at the ballpark. And the hardest part, and you know, you guys know, you grew up in a baseball family. It's the playing is great, but it's the being in the locker room and the, you know, just being around the guys and sitting around and talking shop. It's hard, man. It's hard. I was sitting at home watching you guys on TV calling the games, and there was like a void missing. You want to be there, but you just don't know. You don't know how to come back, and you don't know what kind of welcome you're going to get. But the transition has been smooth. Derek Hall and everybody involved has been tremendous with me. They've welcomed me with open arms back, and it's a great feeling to be back.
Nice moment there with that ovation. You've been down that road before. You went down when you didn't know where your future was headed. How hard and what clicked? And I told Maddie I'd ask you this. At what point did you decide, all right, I'm going to stop looking for phone calls. I'm going to tell my agent to back off. At what point did that hit you?
I think, you know, after the first month of the season went by and I was still hoping, and then, you know, you don't hope an injury happens to somebody, but you're hoping that if something happens to one of the team, that they're looking for that veteran player out there. And, you know, as the months went by, and then my son started playing travel ball, and as you guys know, when you have kids and then you start getting involved with some of this stuff with them, it's, you know, you're starting to think, you know what, well, this is the other side of baseball that I've never experienced before, and it's pretty cool. And then my wife and I started doing more things together, and you know, getting to do stuff with the girls, and I was like, it's time. I can't hold hope any longer, and as hard as it is to do that, to let that go, that last piece of rope, man, you got to let go sooner or later. And it's hard because I had so many great memories here. I got to play with so many great players, and this organization meant so much to me because when I got here, I was almost a journeyman. Sure. And I got put into a great mix of players, and these guys knew how to play the game when I got here, and it was just a perfect fit for me to be here with those guys. And the first day I walked into the locker room, I admired the way and I respected the way these guys all played the game. The Jay Bells and Matt Williams and you know, Randy and Counsell, Tony Womack, all these guys, Gracie, everybody in the game. That all of a sudden I found myself in the locker room with these guys, and I respected the way they played. It just made it so easy for me to go out there and transition to play with that team. So
as you make the transition and as you look to your new challenge, as you like to put it, what's going to be the most fun for you to do? What's the thing that you look forward to the most?
I honestly am looking forward to going to the minor leagues, and I want to work with those kids down there, whether it's going into the city for 2 or 3 days and getting to know some of these guys and just trying to teach them the old school big league way. I mean, you guys know, you know, you've seen how this game has changed, and that change is good, and it's part of the history of the game and things like that. It's great. But at the same time, you want them to respect the guys on the other team. You want them to respect their teammates and the people that are involved around the game. And hopefully I can instill some of that into those guys for 2 or 3 days, you know, when I'm in that city, and moving on to the next one. And they get to, you know, realize that, you know, some of the guys that are working in this organization now are part of that rich history that we had here when we went out there, and it was all about winning. It wasn't about one person. It was about the name on the front, not the name on the back. And hopefully we can get those guys to believe in that and believe that we can go out there and win games.
Manning, your territory out there, puts that one away, and so there is one away. And the other part of it too, when you think about it, and I'm listening to you talk, is and you mentioned this, it's the people. I mean, and you get a lot of credit, and deservedly so, and Matty was talking about before you got up here, knowing people's names, but this is a people's game, probably more so than any other sport. Your teammates, the staff you run into, the minor leaguers, so you now are back around those people on a regular basis. I would imagine that warms your heart.
Oh, there's no doubt. That's what's most exciting to me. I mean, these guys used to make fun of me all the time because I'd go to a different city and I knew the guy working, you know, in the stands and all that stuff. So, I mean, they were like, how do you know those guys? And, but you know what? That was just the way I was brought up. And when I first came to the big leagues, I didn't know I was going to play 18 professional seasons in the major leagues. And I wanted to soak in every bit of it. You know, and as the years went by, you're like, oh, my God, I'm 5 years in. Oh, 10 years, 15 years. And then all of a sudden you realize, man, you know, I'm a legitimate major league ball player, and I've made all these friendships with all these people, and it just made it comfortable. And for me, it was easy going to the park and seeing people and them go, you know what, he's a normal guy. He loves doing what he does every day for a living, but he could be the guy that lives next door to you, and that's what I took a lot of pride in.
Most people don't know, you know, they see Luis as a player and watch him hit all those home runs, and there was one spring training where you were making a swing change. You were making a drastic change to your approach. And it was so frustrating for him because all he did was beat balls to second base.
4-3.
The whole spring training, and he was so frustrated. Just turns out that year he hit 57 homers.
Yeah.
Didn't get a whole lot of hits in spring, but boy, April was special.
I was scuffling. And you know what? When you have guys around you, you know, everybody could talk about that year, but I have to always give credit to my teammates, because you don't become a good player or a great player, whatever, without guys around you. And if you have the good support system around you, that's what helps you become a great player. And you know what, we bonded with each other, and it was great because after games, I actually look forward to after games. If a guy messed up and we won, they were going to get a beat down in the locker room somehow.
Really?
You know, we would all sit around after games and talk about, you know, what mistakes we made or how we can get better and things like that. And there's not a lot of that around the game anymore. And hopefully, you know, with the guys that are here in this organization now working either in the front office or around the ballpark, hopefully we can try to instill that back into some of these younger players, so by the time they get here, they have a little bit of that hunger and bond in them.
Can that happen, Matt?
Sure can.
How?
First and foremost, they have to be willing to listen.
Okay.
You know, all you have to do is look at this guy and say, okay, well, what can I learn from Gonzo? Well, you can learn so many things. You can learn stuff on the field. You can learn stuff off the field. How to carry yourself as a big leaguer. That's first and foremost.
Sticking with us, right?
Yeah.
Don't stick with us. I think Ryan Roberts kind of just barehanded that ball. Did he? Oh, you bet he did.
Teammate in Chicago. I was your teammate in Arizona as well, and I loved every minute of it. And I just want to tell you congratulations on your unbelievable career. You were great to play with. You were great to even play against. And I know you're going to be a huge part of this organization for years to come. So, Gonzo, once again, I thank God for you every day because I have that World Series ring, and you are a big part of it. Once again, congrats, pal.
Good stuff. Broadcast partner Mark Grace off on network assignment. Well, your reaction is certainly welcome
that
to
was
Mark
really
Grace.
nice, but you know, all us position players, we can't take all the credit. It's nice when you got Randy and Kurt at the front of that rotation.
Isn't it, though?
It made it nice for us coming to the ballpark.
There you go, big fella. Go
yeah,
get it.
you know you got 2 good chances of winning the games, at least 2 out of the 5 days, and we had Stoudemire. We had a great bunch of guys. It was good. I honestly believe that the '99 team was almost as good as the 2001, and that home run that Todd Pratt hit in center field when Finley jumped into the wall was, man.
Line drive, deep left field. Carlsley looks up, and it's high off the wall and out of here. A bounce, and it's gone.
What'd you say? 7 for 14?
I think it's 8 for 15 now since his return.
I'll tell you what. Some kind of talented player right there. You do a lot of things.
And Matty, the last couple of nights, has been line drives like this.
Well, yeah. A couple to the right, a couple to the left. Driving runs into the guys on the base. That one he just elevated a little bit.
Yeah, those 2 guys, Upton and Reynolds, are a lot of fun to watch. When they're on top of their game, it's unbelievable how talented these 2 young guys are.
We've talked about it the last couple of days. You know, you put those guys in the middle of the lineup. It's great for them, but it sets everybody else in, too.
No, they feed off of each other.
Mark with a liner. You know, we saw a great moment last night when man John Hester came up and got his first big league hit. It was a homer.
Saw it.
First big league hit. That harkens me back to September of 1990. A single off of Steve Bedrosian, a really, really young Luis Gonzalez. What are your memories of your first ever hit?
Oh, man. Well, you know, first of all, we were playing against the Giants, and that was a pretty intimidating team you guys used to run out there. I mean, you know, the thing with Matty, everybody always knew Matty as the guy at third base that if you were on third and the third base coach went to talk to you, Matty was right there too. So it was a known fact that you know, those guys were there. But what a thrill, man, to get my first hit at Candlestick with all those veterans on the other team. And I remember I was out there and I was asking for the ball, and Bedrosian would not give me the ball. And then Robbie Thompson and Uribe and those guys said, "Hey, give him the ball." So they flipped it to me, and I was like standing in the middle of the field with a baseball in my hand. What do I do with it now, you know? But it was a lot of fun.
What do you remember about that game?
I remember Bedrock out there, Gonzo asking for the ball, and Steve saying, "Get your own ball. This is my ball. It's a ball I'm throwing to the plate. You can go get your own ball."
Well, I guess
then they talked to me.
I guess your beat down tonight comes in the fact that as I look at the numbers here, you had 2 homers in that game. It was a 2-1 Giants win.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, something tells me
2
you do.
homers.
But it's Gonzo's night, so you're filing that away. Something tells me you do, because you clearly just remembered what Bedrock said.
Now, I'd like to find out who the pitcher was that he hit him off of, because Jim DeShays is in the box next door, and he was my teammate for the Astros. So
each and every team, I would imagine, tonight is your night here with this organization, but each and every team, I would imagine, you take fond memories.
I do. I have a lot. Obviously, this one is I have the most fond memories of, but you know, you remember your first organization, you know, when you got traded for the first time and different things like that. But you know, you meet so many great people along the way, and so many great teammates, and just a lot of fun. This game owes us nothing. We're the ones that have to give back to them. So I'm glad to be a part of it, glad to be a part of this organization.
An all-effort play appropriate to wrap up this conversation. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you at work.
Thanks, appreciate it.
We'll see you at work, my friend. We'll see you at work. 6-0 the score. To May 18th, you bet Luis Gonzalez, a known power hitter, was thinking outside of the box as part of that 30-game hit streak.
Boy, the transition. 1999, led the league in hits, led the league in doubles. And then as he progressed later in his career, he started to elevate that baseball a little bit. Had 57 home run season, especially.
You mentioned today, Luis did, that obviously has no regrets. He was at 25.91, so that's a ways away. Truth be told, he wanted 3,000 hits, but where he was in his career and as it played forward, he probably wasn't going to get there even with the chance. But the one I would imagine that might pop him up occasionally at night, have him lift his head off his pillow and think about it, is 4 doubles shy of 600. He'd get you 4 doubles.
Okay,
you keep him on your roster for a year, he's going to hit 4 doubles.
He can get you 4 doubles.
So the 3,000 hits, but the 4 doubles, that's interesting.
It's, you know what? He's so respectful of everybody that he's ever played with or against or whatever. But I tell you what, he was a rock star. I mean, he came in to play with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and as he says it, he was kind of a journeyman.
Mm-hmm.
But when he got here, boy, he took this town by storm, put the club on his back, and off he went.
John Garland continuing to deal tonight.
Center fielder Michael Bourne.
Yeah, he keep the ball down, Johnny. That works. He's been on the corners tonight with the sinker. Little cutter there. Cut fastball in the outside corner. And the changeup. That changeup's been really good.
Well, when you talk about 596 doubles, as you see the speedster Bourne pop that one up, that puts Luis 15th in the history of the game. It's funny, our great website, one of my favorites to go to, baseballreference.com. They do a fabulous job there. They have him as active. I guess they can change that now after today's announcement.
It's official.
Well, they do a great job, but they have him 15th all time at 596. Barry Bonds at 14th at 601. Cal Ripken 603. But more doubles than Jeff Kent, Eddie Murray, Tony Gwynn, Pudge Rodriguez, Lou Gehrig, Frank Robinson, Manny Ramirez, Ken Griffey, Babe Ruth, Ricky Henderson, just to name a few.
It's great. Great story about Luis in April this year. He talked about the fact that in April this year he was really he was really working out hard, really making sure he kept himself in shape, because you just never know. Agents constantly on the phone talking to different clubs. Hey, if you have a situation there, I've got somebody. Take my son down to watch the Arizona State game, watch them play University of San Diego.
Chris Young is there on a line drive, 2 outs.
Who's there but Luis Gonzalez, sitting up in the stands. So Jake and I go up and plop ourselves down to Gonzo, who's holding court as usual, and he leans over. He goes, "Hey, any problems over there? Make sure you let them know that I can play. Just make sure if anything goes haywire over there, somebody gets hurt, you never know. I'm available. Step right in." He was itching.
Geppinger with a base hit into left field. Ran into him, gosh, about a month ago in an event. One of our good friends over at Northern Trust Bank, and he still had left him. Yeah. Now we're talking even a little further on.
It won't. Yeah, he's resigned himself to the fact that it's not going to happen. Doesn't mean that he doesn't want it to happen.
Well, now we change subjects. I tell you, that is something that's on a much lighter note. It's going to be full front and center tomorrow, no doubt about it, the discussion, but we may as well bring it up tonight. We really are making a move. You've seen the racing sausages or the racing presidents. Well, we are moving towards the racing graces.
It's beautiful.
And the fan outpouring has been beyond belief. I mean, there were signs all over the ballpark last night. Obviously tonight, dedicated to this red-hot Diamondbacks team and their former great. Mr. Hall has some ideas along those lines, and really the only acceptable one is the Racing Gracies.
It is.
So we'll wait for those. Right there. There they are. Look at them. All the Racing Gracies running around racing each other. We want them. That's what the sign says. We want them.
We have to have them, don't we? Don't you think?
Would you feel excluded if it was only the Racing Gracies?
No. No, not at all. Why would I feel excluded?
You think
not
like,
at all.
You think Gonzo would?
No.
Okay. How about Randy?
No.
Okay. Racing Gracies.
No, of course it's got to be the Racing Gracies. Who else could it be? Who else could it be?
Governor?
Could be the Racing Governors. I tell you what we could do. We could have Gracie, the Governor, and D-Sut.
No, I'm not a part of that.
We could. Think about that out there, folks. Candyman bringing up the rear. Candy's not real fast, man.
No, he's not.
He'll throw you a knuckleball.
I was going to follow up by asking, what are you saying there? But you went ahead and said it.
I'm not afraid.
0-2 the count.
There he is right there. Candyman on the left. They didn't pay him to run fast.
No, they really didn't.
We could do that, though.
Just off the plate. Good pitch. 1-2 the count.
I mean, yeah, they did it in San Francisco, right?
Mm-hmm.
Group and Kite.
That's where the idea came from now.
So
Wade
they could
Piper,
do that with you and
Mike Krug. No.
Oh, yes, they could.
Just a whole bunch of different Gracies.
Don't listen to him. I'm officially putting it out there right now, and I'm pushing hard for Darren Sutton to be involved in that mix. Now it could be the Racing Gracies one night. Next night it could be Sutton.
No. Racing
Yes,
Gracies. Yep, it's official. Stay tuned.
Don't be afraid. Anybody out there that agrees with me, don't be afraid to Twitter. We can pull it up right here on Twitter.
On D-backs booth.
We can do that.
The 1-2. Good looking changeup. Berkman fires that bat down. The helmet's punished. Your vote has been casted. Your vote has been duly noted. It's coming soon. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Back of the ballpark, Matt Williams, Darren Sutton, and you, and we trust that your weekend to this point has been a good one, and somehow, as Felipe Paulino goes to work, some way, a cool one. First pitch swinging, Gerardo Park. Tejada back and under it. John Garland tonight, very quietly making his way through being the storyline. Now you have heroes being honored, retired ball players making it official. You have big bats showing themselves. You have Mark Reynolds hitting a ball into the all-you-can-eat section, reaching 40 homers. That guy deserves a headline in his own right.
He does. It's been efficient, workmanlike. Seen some good pitching tonight, some good defense tonight. Just like the way they've gone about it the last couple of days. It's been crisp.
The 2-2. Breaking ball, late swing, fooled him badly there. Allen goes down on strikes. Don't forget, by the way, an exclusive interview with Gonzo. It will be on the 10th inning show. Todd Walsh sitting down very recently. And what a fabulous show. D-back swing unplugged, and the legend of Mark Reynolds, of course, talking about Roger Cline and the Peacemakers. It's all Sunday, the premiere of the 10th inning show, following the D-backs and the Astros. There's a strike right down the middle. 0-1 the count to John.
Yeah, Todd does a nice job.
That's a wonderful show. Talking about velocity, who brought it so far in this game? Well, I guess John Garland technically did. Our Quest high-speed internet high-speed pitch. He threw 5 miles an hour slower on the top side than Bud Norris, but he's still working.
5 more innings than Bud Norris did, too.
Let's brewing for tomorrow. Wandy Rodriguez, he is tough, a crafty left-hander. I'll tell you what, Dan Herron, he's hit some bumps in the road. Look at that, very similar ERAs now, and the win-loss is similar. This promises to be a whale of a pitching matchup. Wandy, one of those guys, Matty, I would imagine drove you crazy as a hitter.
Yeah.
Little guy.
Run it in there, though.
Oh, he'll come in
there.
and soft. I mean, softer than soft away.
One of those guys that when he's on, he's really on. Got both sides of the plate working with the fastball, the changeup.
Like he has a magic Wandy. He's out there working like that.
I tell you what, folks, it's all about the partner.
You're not going to get that kind of stuff on other shows. You'll actually get good jokes, as that one is fouled off.
He's quick. The wit.
There are many who would debate that fact, my friend.
Well, I can only hope.
The world is full of the people that would debate it with you. The 0-2. Carlos Lee off the end of the bat. Justin's got a long way to go. Still skating. He's got it. But when he puts the foot on the gas and decides it's time to really go,
it's a different gear, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Shortstop Miguel Tejada.
You know, look at Michael Bourne, and he's fast. It takes Justin. You know, Justin's a much larger human than Michael Bourne. When he gets it going, it's as good as anybody.
So now Miguel Tejada after the fly out to right field off the bat of El Caballo. Michael Bourne can absolutely fly, as you mentioned. Standing next to, I think you folks have watched enough games to know one of my favorite players, and Darren Erstad. Darren having that career start to wind down, but kind of interesting that Michael Bourne finds that place to stand. And there's no joking going on. I'm telling you right now, a bench player and a role player, there's no joking going on with Darren. In time for the out. Hey, don't forget, Roger Klein and the Peacemakers are coming to Chase Field on Saturday, September 19th, courtesy of Miller Lite. The show starts after the D-backs game against the Rockies. For tickets, call 602-514-8400 or visit dbacks.com/concert. And don't forget, check out, as we add in a bonus here, Roger Klein Unplugged on the 10th inning show Sunday right after the game. That's a big league team read right there. It's got it all. A programming note.
Big league team reader, too.
Fouls that one off into the seats.
You know, it's interesting, you know, a little game within the game, behind the scenes stuff. You saw that shot of Bourne and Erstad talking there. Erstad's lathered. He's absolutely lathered right now. Look at the sweat pouring off his top of his head. He's not in a game. He's been back in the cage just bang. He's going to get one chance. You know, he's got that chance tonight. Maybe he's ready.
And it's never changed. We mentioned this last night. It's never changed. He is a one-time-a-night guy. Rarely, if ever, does he get a start. And I've watched him. It's just that we've seen the Astros a lot, you know, just in Houston. Now they're back. And he is preparing exactly like he did in 2000.
Yeah.
Or in 2002 when he won himself a ring with the Angels. He's probably finding guys to talk about John Garland with. It's good stuff.
It is.
That one is low.
Talk about teaching young players. You don't have to say anything. Don't have to say a word. All he has to do is go about his business, and everybody watches, everybody learns, and he leads by example.
Full count, 2 outs.
It'd be so easy for him to sit back and spend an inning in the clubhouse having a hot dog or whatever.
That's just one at bat.
Yeah, just one. Isn't it great?
Why do I feel like
he's grinding right now?
You know what's so funny though? Why do I feel like I'm sitting next to a guy who totally understands the way he's handling his business? Just a thought. Just a thought. And at some point he will pinch hit.
How'd you like to mess around on the bench with that guy on the bench?
It doesn't. No.
It doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't.
I love it.
Right. Mind you, he's not the meanest man in the world. We don't want to confuse you. He's great to talk baseball with. And he'll ask you how you've been. How's your family? I mean, You just have to find the right time to have that conversation.
Yeah, it's probably not, in the top of the 7th when he's getting ready to potentially step up there and try to make some kind of difference for his club. That's probably not the opportune time, but.
And there is some baseball wisdom right now surrounding Michael Bourne as well. You saw on the other side, and bless him to see him here. He hopes to make it back by the end of the year. Aaron Boone sitting over there, and Aaron having heart surgery earlier this year, and hopes to come back from heart surgery and at least playing a game, getting it back. And then, as we talked to him last time they were in town, if that occurs, he might have changed his mind since, but he's taking it to the house then.
Yeah.
And then he will begin the second career in baseball, really wherever he wants to go.
Sure.
Up here.
Up here.
He could do this. He could coach. He could learn in the front office. If he doesn't look like his dad, Bob Boone, either. 1-1 the count. So ask away, Michael Bourne, if you have any questions.
Yeah.
You're in good company right now.
I would imagine you get an answer from either side.
One and two the count. Just missed the outside corner. That was the 100th pitch, throwing a shutout at these Astros. He will, of course, make his way, if it's a clean end to this inning, off the diamond, and then they'll make the decision. I would imagine he's got one more in it.
It depends on how the rest of the inning goes, of course, but.
All is quiet. Flips that one into the seats. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That scene over in the Astro dugout reminds me that there is time within the game to to have fun and to joke around with your teammates and enjoy the process, enjoy the clubhouse, enjoy the game. But there is also time that it's business and it's time to play. We're here to win.
Right back through the box and into center field. It's a base hit. So these Astros trying to make a ball game of it. Being shut out now, Garland at 102 pitches. That phone rings in the bullpen. That's where you hit John Garland. Try to pull him. He's got you.
He's got you. Ball's going to sink. Ball's going to be down in the zone generally. So the only way to really hit the pitch that's down is to hit it back from where it came. That's hitting the ball back up the middle.
Jeff Fulcino warming in the pen. Clay Zavada warming in the Diamondbacks pen quickly. All right, Chris Coast. No runs, 5 hits, and no errors. 6 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Diamondbacks. Bouncing ball, and it's foul. At what point, Matty, when you've played a decade in the minors, do you think about going home if you're Coast?
If you're Coast, you don't.
Isn't that amazing?
Anybody else, you're after year 3, year 4, and you're just not getting a chance. You're just not getting that opportunity. If you're that man, you don't think about it. Figure you spend your whole life in your quest to get to the big leagues. Why would you quit?
the speech about intensity this whole inning. It takes an intensity. And the other guy we're talking about made it to the big leagues, played very effectively in the big leagues. It's the kind of intensity to go to work every single day when you're making $500 a month, and to when you're Chris Coast and you're not a first-round draft pick like Darren, to have that intensity, or the intensity when you've had heart surgery,
right,
to work out without fear.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Oh, and 2 the count.
Playing and hoping to get to the big leagues is one thing, but hoping just to play is another.
Grounded out to third. Reynolds from his knee. What a play. What a play by Mark Reynolds. Hit a homer earlier tonight, I think about 900 feet, and then this.
Don't look now, but he's good.
Park. Greg, Luis Gonzalez Appreciation Night, a concert afterwards, Montgomery Gentry, and fireworks. And you know what? It's a pretty good night so far for John Garland, too.
It's been a great night for John Garland, a great day for the Arizona Diamondbacks and Luis Gonzalez, and maybe a few stories involving a clown later on.
A clown. Well, you were his teammate for a while. And
I'm not the clown.
No, but a story
clown,
involving a clown.
Exactly.
And I'm betting it has to do with a practical joke.
Yes.
Ah, well done. Being called a clown. I like that. I'm looking forward to that story. That is a strike to Stephen Drew. Joe Nicola, our fine post-game show producer, was just in the booth. Just stopped by. As Stephen knocks that one off Paulino. He's fine play behind him and not in time. A great effort by Kempinger, and that hurts. Looked like you got him shin or knee. You hope it's not the knee. As much as it'll hurt the shin, that'll heal a lot faster. And he's not feeling good at all. That's too bad.
I think that's the outside of the knee.
I do too.
It's no fun. I've seen it all too many times. You know, these guys are on their follow through about anywhere from 50 feet from home plate by the time it's all said and done, and that ball just gets rifled back at him. You see Paulino's follow through. He's got no chance of catching the ball that's right back at him because he's kind of turned all the way toward first base when he follows through.
He's going to throw for a moment. While he does, we'll keep an eye on him, but we'll also keep an eye on what's going on out of town. FreeCreditReport.com presents our out-of-town scoreboard. The Yankees continue to steamroll Major League Baseball. How about that? Mitre and Godin, a combined one hitter. The Reds, steamrolled by the Dodgers. Manriam hit his 14th. Jason Marquis, so far, is trailing in the race with Barry Zito, who very quietly is having a nice year for the Giants. A very, very quiet year for him. He's had a severe drop in stuff. Has had to essentially Frank Tanana himself, reinvent himself, if you will. And you can see where the Giants stand. Don't forget this next road trip for the Diamondbacks is Los Angeles and Colorado. If they're playing this way heading into there, what a role they could play. Doesn't mean both those clubs aren't going to be ready. They're both great teams for a reason. That ought to be a lot of fun on TV.
Yeah, it could be. Could be fun to be the spoiler, huh?
You bet.
You know?
A lot of guys getting their first couple of tastes of the big leagues. You strike out Manny Ramirez with the bases loaded, or hit a homer off of Jonathan Broxton. Oh, wait, they already did that.
Oh, yeah, that's been done. No, yeah, you get in those parks to play those teams in their home park, and it's a playoff atmosphere. Their fans are excited. They're in first place, so they're leading the wild card.
A moment ago, by the way, just let me grab the subject because I know you love it. Going over, under. Oh, there's a contract. It's a contract.
Get him a contract.
4 free tickets, 30% off at the team store. We've got ourselves a contract. And
You,
that's
sir,
good news.
right there, you get a contract. Stamp.
Line drive back to the box.
It's official. It's Chuck and Duck time. Look out. What a nice job. What a very, very nice job Ryan Roberts has done of hitting the ball back through the middle. That's where he's going to have success. Saw him on the last road trip. Hit some home runs, but that's not really his game. It's going to happen on occasion. The consistency at which he hits that ball back through the middle will be the measure of his season, the rest of this season, and hopefully beyond.
And as we learned with Roberts, and I love this story, he shared it with us in San Francisco. He has a little brother, and the little brother was visiting on the trip with his dad, and they were flipping some things around in the room. I forget what he even said. It was cotton balls or something of the sort, having fun, and his dad was talking about approach and stance, and he was talking with his dad, and the little brother was throwing him the cotton balls, and around they went. He figured something out about his swing right there in the conversation.
Isn't it great?
I mean, you know, you got the big full-length mirror. Maybe it's just working, and you're looking at things, and you're talking, and you're enjoying family. He told us that in an interview in San Francisco. Love that story about him.
It's so interesting because we talked about it a little bit last night. People can stand differently when they're at the plate. Hitting coaches can say different things, but ultimately everybody on this field tonight gets in the same position when they make contact with the baseball. Everybody's brain works differently. So I may say something to, as an example, to Justin Upton that he may not really get what I'm saying. Jack Howell could say the same thing, and he understands it perfectly just by the way he says it. Something clicks, as you said. Figures something out.
Justin goes down on strikes. Good sink on that pitch. So Upton is erased. In the 5th inning, if you missed it, it was his 3rd hit of the night. And a line drive home. I mean, a true line drive home. Now they count just the same. This guy digging into the box. As Justin will head back, easing back into that dugout. This guy hit one into the all-you-can-eat section in left field.
Was it a liner like?
It was ridiculous. Look at this.
No, that's not a liner. That is officially a long, far one.
Well, I'm waiting for the website. My favorite website with regard to homers is that one is topped. Everybody said, stay on that bag. He does. Grabbing hold of that pillow is Ryan Roberts. Throw is wide by Keppinger. Bases loaded for Miguel Montero.
Well, great teams, championship teams take advantage of mistakes by the opposing club. We talked a little bit about it last night. Miguel Montero during the game last night had an opportunity. First time up, he rolled over a sinker. Next time up, he made the adjustment and hit the ball to left center field. His strength is to, especially with runners in scoring position, use the big part of the diamond, and I'm sure that's what he's thinking here.
All right, so we'll step aside. There's more offense coming up. Supported by the dancing tacos. That's right, we've got tacos as well. Hello, folks. Hope you're having fun out by the pool. Good to have you as our guest at the Ride Now Power Sports pool here at Chase Field. Tim Burdack, the Busy Bird, they like to call it. That's actually his nickname in the clubhouse, the Busy Bird, on for the 58th time this season. There's a reason why he's busy. And the bases are busy. I mean, buzzing with Diamondbacks in their Saturday black jerseys. Lefty on lefty. And flips that one into the seats. Miggy hitting .409 in his last 22 shots with runners in scoring position.
That's pretty good.
9 for 22. 5 doubles. And he's hit a slam. It was last year in Houston against the Astros. He hasn't netted the result he wants, but that's twice he hasn't opened up and tried to pull the ball.
No, that's the key for him. He talked about Mark Reynolds not pulling the ball down the line for home runs. You know, Miguel Montero doesn't do it either. He drives the ball to the gaps, has good power the other way, and he stays on the ball so well. In these situations, that's his focus.
Look at this. Taking it the other way, and it's down for a base hit. One run is it. Roberts comes on around and kicks away. Chip Hale says, "You get your tail on home, Mark Reynolds," and he's in there. He empties it. Another double. With the bases loaded, he's rolling with runners in scoring position, and now it's officially fun. 9-0.
The approach, the idea, the plan. He has a plan when he goes to the plate now. You can have a plan when you're getting consistent at bats, and that's just executing it. Look where that pitch is, but look where his head is.
Chris Young, fly ball, well struck center field, going back his ball, still going. He runs it down. Montero tags. It's the third, hustle. He's not able to do anything with that baseball a moment ago if he tries to pull it.
0. Look at his head. Watch. See, the level of the ball is at his shoulders, but his head is still behind the baseball. Look at it. Look at where his head there is there. His eyes are on the baseball. Now you can go ahead and hit it. It's not a strike. But if your head stays there and you stay inside that ball, you can do what he does. If he tries to pull that baseball, he's out. Believe it.
There are graphics, and then there's that. And that is fabulous for the Diamondbacks. There were no walks in those 8 games, not literally, but there didn't feel like there were any. There was very little timely hitting. There wasn't anything going on really on a positive note for Arizona. Well, that's changed. They've outscored opponents 34-7, and just in case you're curious, those 3 games started when those two were back in the lineup together.
Yeah.
They're not driving in all the runs. They're helping.
They're getting a few. But the rest of the guys are taking care of it.
Yeah, they're taking care of the burdens. 9-0. The Diamondbacks lead it. Fun at the old ball yard on a Saturday night. They're the heavy lifters. Fox Sports Arizona presents Diamondbacks Baseball, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They're ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag like I am this Monday. It's on. Taking a ride up to Cave Creek. All sorts of Clay Zavada fans. Look at that little one. All sorts of baseball fans. Oh, The Gathering. That's a great website. The folks from the AZ Snake Pit. Also a Gathering. Good website. Diamondbacksbullpen.org. AZSnakePit.com. True, passionate, informed fans. Jim and Devin, Liz, Tim, Emily, Chris, Phil, Ed, Brendan, Ann, and Moira are all here tonight. We'll visit those 2 websites. We care about this team. I get a little frustrated when they're struggling. There are times where we get a little frustrated. That's what the cough button is for. That one is outside.
Was that what that's for? I never used that one.
We didn't use it in that 1 inning earlier this year against the Angels. You remember that inning?
Yeah.
We just let her fly. 1-1 to count.
That's what that's for. I had no idea.
Line drive, base hit, left field. Jason Michaels against Clay Zavada. You know, like if you're talking like they, you know, it just kind of, you know, it can take it out. That's what it's for.
See, you learn something new every day you come to the ballpark.
Center fielder.
If I didn't come to the park today, I would have never known that.
Like I wouldn't want to, you know, hear the folks over the air say, "My goodness, that Matt Williams, he stinks." Oh, I'm sorry, I should have just put the cough button. Let's see, like that.
Oh, I got you. I hear that a lot.
I'd never say that about you, though, at least publicly. 0-1 the count.
Twitter.
That one is away.
We don't say anything like that about racing.
Well, I'm telling you, he's still having a great time. He has gone from Hamtramck over to Greektown and is really enjoying himself in Detroit.
Is he going to make it back in time for the game tomorrow?
It will be just fine. You're here. You live in town.
Yeah, I guess I could.
He'll make it back because tomorrow is the beginning of the true campaign for the Racing Gracies.
And if it's not, I'll take it. Hey, I'll push.
That one is fouled off.
I am officially the first-year resident, so I'll be here.
Did I hear we might have had a good play out there, a contract? We might have to take a look at that.
I don't care if they missed it. Get him a contract.
No, well, it has to be earned. I don't know if it was captured. Let's see. We got to. That's well. Is it glove? Oh, that's a contract.
It's got to be.
All right, we got a contract. That is great. Breaking ball and a wicked bender. Now, that's a pitch he doesn't throw very much. Change up a lot. And good to see him against the lefty break that pitch out. Why not try it 9-0?
Why not? That's a big bender. Slow bender. Just another weapon, you know? Why not? Popping that glove, though. I like it. We're giving out all kinds of contracts.
Well, we're not giving anything. They're earning.
No,
them.
but that's what I mean.
Right. That's the best way to do it. Rolled out to Mark Reynolds. There's one. Hung him out there a bit. Mark did as he charged in. Roberts had to hang around the bag for a while. And you get a guy like Michaels who rarely gets a chance to get on the field. You know he's going to come in hard. Didn't have a chance to turn it.
Pretty smooth transition. The feed's just a touch low, and he wasn't able to get out of the way. Situations like this, games like this, make sure you get one. Don't allow that big inning. No, I hear you. I like the contracts. Now you have to earn the contract. You know, it's been a crisp game on the field, and it's been crisp in the stands too. I mean, if this team's going to play well on the field, we expect our fans to play well as well. Pay attention to the game. Bring your glove.
Right.
Bring your Racing Gracies signs. Let's get behind it. Let's go.
Oh, it's not just date night at the ballpark.
No. We've got. There's a lot of baseball left here. Okay.
I mean, it may be birthday night at the ballpark. We're good with that. Happy birthday, young
That's
man.
okay.
There you go.
That's okay, kid. Get out there, eat your cake, but get back in your seats because you might be able to get a contract.
Line drive, center field, base hit.
Blow out the candles. Fine. Make your wish. But get back in your seat. I'm just kidding.
The funny thing is, I'm not quite sure if you are. I think you're tuning up. Tuning up someday. You may be running your own ball club. I think you're just practicing there.
Hey, you need everybody on the same end of the rope pulling as hard as you can, right?
That's exactly right. Carlos went there. You bet. Strike one. Mike Jamiro.
Carlos is struggling. Timing's off a little bit in this series. Just missed a few balls last night.
You're exactly right, isn't it? I mean, just not squaring him up. There he is again.
There he is again.
Not squaring it up. He is there, and he puts it away. It might be your birthday. You blow out your candle, and then you get back to your seat with your glove and make the play.
Get back in your seat.
Nova Home Loans in-game box score. All the way down, big damage being done. John Garland. Thank goodness he pitched well.
Yeah.
Boy, if that's your biggest complaint about a starting pitcher, you'll be just fine. Great night for John Garland.
It's over 3. You kidding me?
And meantime, Brandon Allen is thrilled that there's not a pitcher behind him. This is this 8-hole.
It's tough. It is so bad.
Explain.
The hardest part is knowing when to be aggressive and when not. But you get a feel for the pitcher. All right. Well, is he going to pitch around me, or is he going to try to nibble here, nibble there? Is he going to come right after me? Who knows? So I would imagine that Brandon is used to hitting in the middle of the lineup somewhere. Right? That's what he's done his whole career. Big, strong first baseman, a lot of power. And to hit 8th, he just doesn't know how to do it. It's uncomfortable. Now, the argument is, well, it doesn't matter. You know, once the game starts, you know, he may be the leadoff hitter one inning. Well, that's true, but when you have the pitcher standing behind you, you just don't know what they're going to do.
No, you're right. He's always behind you, though, until this point in the game. Locked him up right down the middle. That's strike 3. So a tough night, no doubt about it. Our Nissan fan poll, we were talking about it earlier tonight on the night that Luis Gonzalez is honored. Personality plus for Gonzo is what you think. D did not get enough votes, probably because you couldn't vote for it. He was just a really good baseball player.
That says something right there. The fact that the text poll shows that, you know, the thing that people admire most about him, people think he was best at, was personality. Why is that? Well, it's because, you know, he's fantastic in the community, fantastic with children, certainly. Great with his teammates, the people he worked with, all the employees of the Diamondbacks, and he's back. It's good to see.
1-1 the count. Wow. She thinks Gracie was a good pitcher. I like that. Of course, Brandon Webb, got to get him healthy. She just likes the number 17. Of course, Mark Grace had that fabulous outing one time in the big leagues.
Fabulous.
A home run to David Ross.
It was way back, too.
ERA of 9. And he finished his major league career. Which was, see, I can't say anything that was better than mine in rookie ball when I was on the roster the whole season as a pitcher. Swinging right through it.
You're all right. Keep grinding, kid. You'll be all right.
Oh, no. I actually was never all right. Appreciate the thought, though. It's a lot more comfortable up here. No one hits rockets back at you up in the booth.
It's going to be nice to see that guy back.
You bet.
You know?
Talking to him a lot. He's really encouraged. Brandon Webb is really encouraged.
He's very encouraged about the fact that, you know, there wasn't as much damage as they thought. A little fray here, a little tweak there, but nothing major. It's scary. Not knowing, trying to come back and not knowing exactly what's going on.
It's talking with Mel Stottlemyre Jr. We may bring a part of that conversation out tomorrow during the telecast about Dan Herron not having the Brandon Webb. Now, Dan Herron's having a great year. He was an all-star. But Mel's a big believer that having a Brandon Webb right before, right after you naturally just makes you better. And it's not a and in the conversation what came up with, that's not a slight. As that one sparked to deep right center field. John Tracy shoots it by Michael Bourne. He gave it a ride. It's not a slight at John Garland when we talk about that. He was great tonight. But you think about Brandon Webb and Dan Herron, I don't know, Lincecum and Kane pushing each other.
playoffs. Didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. You lose a guy like that in the middle of your lineup and the leader of your club, it's difficult to rebound from. Glad to have him back now, though.
That moment was just replayed in-house as the #1 moment in his career. Certainly the #1 moment in this franchise's history. One of the greatest moments in baseball history. And I love the pregame sentiments. I love the ceremonies. I love the standing ovations when they're a little bit more planned. The crowd's anticipating it. Blaine Boyer takes over. I'm a real big fan of the organic ovation, and that's what followed there. And a quick shot in-house, boom, camera goes up where he's sitting up on the big screen, and all of a sudden that ovation gets louder and louder. The kids jumping up and celebrating. That may be, for me, more of my favorite moment tonight than the pregame. That was wonderful right there. Place just went nuts. And they're in the spirits. It's not 9-0 Astros.
Well, that helps. It certainly helps.
That was wonderful, though. Well done here in house. Nice job, everybody, with the Diamondbacks. DBTV. Miguel Tejada is erased. Then, as you can see, Augie now at short. Tracy is at third. Drew and Reynolds have the rest of the evening off. The story of Blaine Boyer and what he has done here with Arizona. Look, in Atlanta, they were trying to fight their way, and they're trying to hope to get to October. St. Louis, at that point, they were hoping. Looks like they will. That's where he struggled. Here in Arizona, he's been able to throw. They've been able to stretch him out. All right, we'll let you work through things. Is that a good thing? Well, that means you're having a losing season. It's turned out for Boyer a good thing, because he may have just earned himself a job, and the bullpen is better because of it. In 20 games as a Diamondback, 2.33 ERA. You can't teach 94 with movement.
No. And it's hard movement. That ball's going down at 94, 95 miles an hour. You're right. You're having a season that you would rather forget. But we talked about opportunity. This is the opportunity.
And funny thing, so was he. Both parties having a season they'd rather forget. And next year they may be better off because of it.
I would imagine that both of them would be. Now, John Roush turned his season around, and he was solid in the 8th inning. Solid. But the departure of Roush potentially gives him that opportunity. Opens up maybe another spot for him next spring. You never know.
Strike 3, outside corner. Beautiful pitch. 2 outs, 1 out to victory. 1 out to victory, and looking to make it 3 in a row.
That's tough to hit right there. 95 miles an hour running back to the outside corner.
And now the confidence, you can feel it coming. The Georgia boy who probably was challenged playing for his hometown team. Some guys are. Bouncing ball. Augie Ojeda on across the Diamondbacks win.
You want to talk about crisp. That's well played right there. All the way around.
On a night when a former star was honored and